Hello everyone, we are here, we are live, we are ready to go, and we are back in a series of streams that it's been over 4 months since the predecessor to this stream. This is my Kerbalism Let's Play streaming series where I'm playing with Kerbalism and a whole host of other mods. The full list of the mods are in the description. It's pretty much the same set that I left off with back in September for those people that have been following this along. And if you are new to this series, then welcome. But you know what? Why don't we get this show on the road? This is, let's just launch and then we'll talk. How about that for an idea? So I need to throttle up. I think this is all ready to go. Yeah, brakes off and punch it. Not quite lined up on the runway. I'll straighten out here a little bit. And we'll take off. People that were watching this stream, let's get off the runway here. Here we go. There, we'll just leave it like that. People that were watching the stream before I went into a bit of a hiatus 4 months ago might recall this. This is the Dart 2 W2, I think is what I called it. It is, or supposed to be, a single stage to orbit space plane. This is essentially its inaugural flight. In the last stream, I spent pretty much the whole time building and fiddling and messing up and failing to achieve an orbit. In fact, on my last attempt, I didn't realize it until after the stream. As I was fiddling around with balancing liquid fuel and oxidizer, I had drained one of the tanks and then forgot to fill it up again. So that's the reason why it failed. So this is essentially the same vehicle. I added a little bit, some Oscar B's here of liquid fuel and oxidizer to give it just a little bit more fuel. I'm watching my speed here. I want to make sure that my speed's continuing to build. This is built around 2 Whiplash engines, which I have recently unlocked, and 2 of the toroidal Aerospike Dart engines. So the idea obviously is that the Whiplashes are to get it up to a significant portion of orbital velocity while still in the atmosphere, and then we're going to switch into rocket mode, turn the jet engines off, rocket engines on. Here, let's pitch down a little bit. In fact, let's pitch down quite a lot. The one thing with these Whiplash engines is they're really designed for higher atmosphere, thinner air, and high speed. So you don't really see them starting to kick in until you're, I don't know, maybe around 7-8 kilometers or so. We should start to see these really start to build up speed. And as you build up more speed, they build up even more thrust. Should be starting to see them kick in, but we're just going to cruise along at this low pitch and pick up as much speed as we can. And we do have a contract. I should say we do have a contract. This is to bring 4 tourists to the WKMSS. This is the Warrior King Memorial Space Station, my low Kerbin orbit space station. I got 4 tourists here: Gargus, Lagercius, Suster, and Cal, and ferrying them along is Jebediah, my most experienced pilot, and Bill Kerman. And how are we doing here? I think I need to pitch down. I want to really start picking up some speed. I want to mess this up. And this morning I was reinstalling this in 12.3 and reinstalling all the mods and making sure it still worked and refamiliarizing myself with what the heck actually was I doing 4 months ago when I left this thing off. So this is going to go up to the space station. I think they have to spend, I think that's 4 days or 4 hours. I'm not really sure. Maybe it's only 4 hours they need to be up there for, but they just need to be up there for a little while, and then we're going to bring them back down. What else do we have going? Well, I do have some contracts to build a rover and take it over to Minmus. There's a couple of contracts that are in that milieu, so to speak, and so I think that might be a fun thing to do. I've yet to build a rover in this series, and this is an uncrewed rover, so I think that's something else I will get to. See, now look at our speed building now. Let's pitch down even a little bit more. Really get that. I want to get it up over about 11 kilometers per second. And then we'll kick into the rocket engines once we're not building the speeds as much. I'm being asked, if I'm an aerospace engineer? Absolutely not. I am a retired math teacher by profession. I do have a physics degree, an undergraduate degree from many, many years ago. No real aerospace experience other than, you know, pretty much a lifetime enthusiasm for following space missions and that kind of thing. Okay, we're going to pitch over a little more. I really want to see this speed build. Come on, speed, build more. Let's pitch more down, more down, more down. Don't worry about all these flamey effects. That doesn't really matter. I want to get as much speed out of this as I can. I can see it starting to... Yeah, I'm going to put that on an action group. That just shut off the whiplashes and turned on the toroidal arrow spikes, and we'll pitch up a bit. Try and get ourselves out of to the thinner section of the atmosphere. Oh, and I should be watching my time to apoapsis too. I don't want that to get too far away. There we go. And also at the same time, these intakes should now be closed. Yep, and as well there's intakes on these. Oh, they're not closed. Close that intake. I thought they should, but let's close them. I believe there's less drag associated when they're not taking in air, so we don't want any drag now that we don't need the air. We are burning oxidizer that is in the vehicle itself. Okay, how are we doing here? We can probably start reducing our thrust a little bit. Want to keep that time to apoapsis fairly close by. This takes way too much concentration sometime. Let's see. We'll settle in around there. Yeah, I think that's pretty good. Pitching just a little bit above the prograde vector. So I do want to sort of get out of this. Yeah, we can continue to reduce thrust here. About a minute to apoapsis. I'd like to keep it around the same. Same thing you do with rocket launches. There we go. Hello, Kerbal Guy, formerly known as Felix. Welcome. I'm just going to lock this onto prograde now, flat out. All right. Another thing I was thinking that I might be doing in the near future as well is I do have parked in a low orbit here. Let's turn this on. Is another vessel, the Nerve 1. And this vessel is in an inclined orbit, which confused me for quite some time as to why did I leave that parked there? I can't remember. Why is it in this inclined orbit? And then I realized that that orbit is in the same plane as Minmus's orbit. It had just come back from Minmus, and I left it parked in an orbit that's still in the same plane to facilitate it going back out to Minmus again. And I think what would be actually a really good thing to add on to that is a space station, a second low orbit space station that's a, you know, sort of a Minmus gateway, which gets into what I really kind of do want to do with the next several streams, is really start working towards building more of that Kerbin system infrastructure. Being able to mine resources and being able to grow your own food, which you can do in Kerbalism, and all of that kind of thing. And Minmus factors into those plans. I do have a station around Minmus, and but I want to build a base there. Start doing some resource harvesting. I think I'm just going to let this go now and stop fiddling with throttles really, really low. And yeah. That's kind of what the main idea of this, which was sort of the idea of the previous several streams before I took a hiatus from this thing. But I want to kind of get that all done. So not going interplanetary. It's all going to be in around Minmus and the moon and Kerbin. And trying as well, like with Kerbalism, man, the science is at a premium. And I'm sort of looking at, I got to watch my Apple apps as it's starting to creep up. Science is really at a premium with Kerbalism. I was going through this morning all the science that I have not yet collected, and it's a smaller list than you would think. Okay, we're cutting. Whoa, shoot. Well done, sir. I just hit Z instead of X to cut my throttle and push my Apple apps. Instead of at 80 kilometers, it's now at 107 kilometers. Well, we'll make that work. Oh boy, that was foolish. Okay, it's time warp up there. So that's sort of like the immediate plan, I suppose, for the remainder of this stream. Get this mission out of the way, build a rover, get it going towards Minmus, start building a station, a Minmus gateway station in low orbit, try and get some regular traffic going between Minmus and Kerbin. All right. Let's get up there. So we are now in space. Still got what? 200? Is that right? 286? 286 meters per second. That should be enough to get us to the station. Arm 1 batteries are almost dead. Oh yeah, whatever. Start losing track of all it. Oh, I should open out. Speaking of dead batteries, let's extend these solar panels. The Arm 1 was an asteroid recovery mission. It is currently attached to an asteroid which is parked in orbit about the moon. I got to think about what I want to do with that too. Okay, let's get ourselves though into full orbit here. We're almost there. Periapsis is already 55 kilometers, so we are almost at orbital velocity. The only additional mod I added from the previous streams to this one is I did add the waterfall mod for engine plumes. I've yet to really take a good look at it. I also have Restock installed, which also affects the engine plumes. Haven't gotten into really looking as to what's doing what, if I need to get into some settings or something with those. Haven't had a chance to look at that yet. Okay, let's start doing that, because that still looks the same as it did with Restock. Okay, that's pretty good. About 105 by 105. In fact, let's just turn it this way. Hopefully those solar panels will get some nice exposure once the sun comes up, which should be happening pretty soon. And let's think about getting ourselves to the station here. Oh, let's turn off. Let's not have on any orbits we don't need. Unfortunately, I'm a little higher than I intended. So it might take a few more go-arounds because of my faux pas. Yeah, I think I need to push ahead in orbit here. Yeah, okay, we're off to go around a few times here. Oopsie doodle. It's all because I went into a 100-kilometer orbit rather than an 80-kilometer orbit. Okay. Close we can get this. Ooh, 0.3 already. Nice. Way. Okay, I'm gonna go. That's hardly fiddling with this at all, and it's already 100-meter closest approach. 0. All right, 0. Oops, come back. There we go. 0. Can't do any better than that. Relative velocity of only 13.2. So it's, the Rendezvous is not going to take very much. Unfortunately, that burn is in 1 hour and 45 minutes. So we're going to have to do a... let's do a very quick save in case I mess up on the time warping. And we'll time warp our way over there. Oh, again, okay, we lost control of the arm 1. I should maybe turn off the warnings on that. Warning, our observatories report a coronal mass ejection happening this way. That's not a big deal. Actually, I don't think it's a big deal. I was about to say all my Kerbals are in low orbit, but that's not true. Because I do have Kerbals in orbit about Minmus right now, but I would have shielded that, right? I'm pretty sure I would have. I'm pretty sure I would have. Okay, coming up to our maneuver here. And let's put this on this so we can see our closest approach. Oh, we should nerf these engines a lot. It's just noticing how quick this burn is. Let's try 20%. Okay, that'll be better. Powerful engines. Okay, we'll start to burn a little early and then we won't go anywhere near full throttle. Now, how many ignitions? Oh, I gotta think about all this stuff again. How many? There's 10 ignitions on those toroidals. All this stuff you gotta think about. That I've not been thinking about because I've not been playing Kerbalism. I've been playing stock. We'll use RCS. Oh, look at that! 45 meter closest approach. Alrighty, Roo. Let's do that. Again, we'll turn this way for the solar panels. Alright, let's get over there. 15 minutes. And then maybe I'll check on my folks on Minmus Station, make sure that if it's shielded, hopefully there's shielding. There has to be shielding. I would have been, well, who knows. I was about to say, I'm not that dumb, am I? But who knows. Okay, we're about a minute away. There's our station coming at us. About a kilometer away. Approach speed's only about 13 meters per second, so no big deal. So there we go. My first SSTO of this campaign. Getting up to Kerbin Station with still a couple of 100 meters per second of Delta V left. So I'm pretty pleased with that. Get ourselves a little closer. Start bleeding off some of this speed. And I gotta remember, I got Bill, I got an engineer. I'm sure I got an engineer on the station too. We'll get him to go service all these engines too. All these things you gotta think about now. And for those people that were enjoying my stock campaign, that going to Moho thing, I've not abandoned that. The putting as many flags as I can on different bodies. That went longer than I would have anticipated it would have. But the plan is to get back to that. So what I'm thinking is I'll probably do around 9-10 streams of this one. So that'll take me 2 or 3 months. And then I'll do another flag planting extravaganza. Why did this go red? They're on board. They were green there before, and now they I don't understand them. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe because it's seeing the station. I don't know. I'm not worried about it yet. Sometimes these contracts do some funky things. All right, let's kill off the rest of this, most of the rest of this velocity. Okay, we're only at about 0.5 meters per second. Open up our doors here and control from here. And let's get over to the station. Now, what am I gonna, I'm hope, well, maybe, I think it, will it fit on here? I got this docking port right here. Man, there is a collection of vehicles here. So I have these, my little space plane, my little Dream Chaser type space plane that went up on top of a booster. I have this old Soyuz style vessel that's still here. And now there's going to be an SSTO on this too. But I'm thinking I can hopefully fit it onto this. I didn't really think, there's also the option, there's a docking port at the end here, but let's see if we can fit it in there. Okay, so let's set that as a target. And let's orient this the way we need it. Well, actually, it's looking pretty good. We are heading right for that target that I'm interested in, so that's good. Let's slow down a little bit. RCS. Now we can use RCS to kind of... Actually, I probably want to go this way, don't I? There we go. And we'll roll it this way. And hopefully it'll fit. I don't think I tested it. You know, all these things I've forgotten. Did I test this? Did I test whether it would fit on the station? I don't know. But we're about to find out. Okay. Set that. Aim our camera there for a nice view, and we are coming in rather slowly, aren't we? We can push it in towards there a little more. Oh, that's different, I think. The way those RCS thrust. I don't want to come too fast, but if we watch the exhaust coming out of those RCS block thrusters, they definitely look different. That might be the waterfall mod at work. I like them. Waterfall's supposed to be making everything look a little bit more realistic, is the idea of it. Okay. And yeah, coming in. Yeah. Yes, and as fun as... Why is my camera so... What if I put this on orbit? Maybe that's a little better. There we go. Still coming in super... Here, time warp. Silly. We can time warp this. Taking so long. And I'm not sure in this game of the practicality of SSTOs, but they are fun to build. Well, I gotta be honest, there's probably absolutely no reason why you can't just stick with capsules on boosters. Oh, you know what I should do too? Let's retract this solar panel. Just in case that's in the way. But I think I'm going to fit. I hope so. Hopefully these two tails won't be banging against each other. I'm thinking this tail is actually lower than this tail because this plane's bigger. Oh, oh, oh. Pay attention. Pay attention. Noticing my alignment was off a little bit. Now we're right on. Might be getting some frame rate dropping too, just because of all the parts. It's always the problem when you start getting your stations too big. The game just really slows down. Okay, we're just about, and boink. There we are. We're getting a warning about carbon dioxide being low. That really isn't a problem, is it? And okay, so there we go. This part here's gone green. I can see now that this is going to be for 4 hours. Excellent. Okay, so let's take... I'm going to leave everybody aboard here. Who's on here, by the way? We've got Rob DV and Michael O taking care of things. Oh, Michael O. Michael O. Let's transfer Michael O to go service these engines before we do anything else. So I'm assuming, are they in here? We're getting some wobbly wonkiness happening too. I can see that. I don't like that. If I do a little time warping, does that freeze that? I can't remember. Yeah, I don't have persistent rotation installed, so that should be okay. Where is my Kerbals? Are they in here? Yeah. Michael O will transfer you into what is our airlock. Switching locked. Of course it's switching locked. Is she in there? No. I'm trying to get Mike. I'm getting transfer crew, but I'm not even getting the button to come up. She's not in here. Nope. She was in there. She just doesn't want to leave. Okay, well, what we'll do, we'll just leave the hitchhiker. We'll do that. There's always... Every time I leave this for a little while, I keep forgetting how the nitrogen works. Oh, well, let's see here. Isn't there a pressure control button? I think Kerbalism's changed this. I think they've changed it. Okay, I'm just going to EV air. I think Kerbalism has updated. The way you handle pressure control was always confusing. And I got a feeling they may have changed it since. Michael's not yeah, she's an engineer. Oh, she's going to the wrong vessel, though. There she goes. I just want to service these engines. Because if you service the engines, they last longer. You just got to go inspect the engine. Oh, this one's practically new, so there's nothing to do. We'll inspect these other engines. But I think this gives you more ignitions again. It resets the number of ignitions they have. Inspect that engine. Service the engine. There we go. So if you're servicing the engine, you must be doing something. Service that engine. And inspect that engine. That one doesn't work. So the jet engines that last a lot longer. That makes some sense. Okay, let's get her back up there. And board. All right, so we'll leave all of these folks alone. Do you have nitrogen? No more nitrogen. Should be tons of nitrogen. Yeah, lots and lots of nitrogen aboard. Nitrogen's used to pressurize the capsules. I just got to remind myself on how it all works again. Okay, in the meantime, they're going to be here for about 4 hours. Did I? Yeah, I do still have Kerbal alarm clock. I know I now have the stock alarms, but I'm so used to Kerbal. I'm surprised there's nothing on my alarm list here. Let's just do a raw alarm for 4 hours from now. And this will be the bring down tourists. That's good. I'll know what it is. So in 4 hours, we got to bring the tourists back down. So that will alert me of that. But what I want to do in the meantime, because we do have that coronal mass ejection coming, I just want to check on my folks around Minmus Station here. So set that as a... Oh no, switch to. Let's take a look. Frank's asking, where can I get the mods for the PC version? The entire mod list is in the description of this video. And the best place to install them from is from SCAN. Okay, so this is Minmus Station. And where's Minmus? Must be above it. We're in a polar orbit here. It's got a lander, and I've already done a bunch of landings down. Let's get rid of this window. There we go. Already did a bunch of landings, and I definitely plan on doing some more. I'm not sure what their situation is as far as fuel goes. Here's a great big... Oh, I can still see that's a lot of fuel. The lander's very small. It takes up no fuel. So should come back to here and do some more fueling up, because that is certainly a thing. But I want to just take a look. All these things I've forgotten. Like, how does the shielding work? I should have done this in the meantime, but I didn't think about it. Where are all my Kerbals? If I put this on, are they all tucked in here? No, probably somewhere in that lab. Yep, probably my two scientists are in the lab. Now, how does the shielding work? Maybe I should just look at this between the two streams. I've honestly forgotten. I'm assuming there's... Oh, I know what I can do. I didn't even have to come here. Oh my god, I'm forgetting everything. If I go to Minmus Station, they are currently in a solar storm. That's why there's this little alarm going on here. And we have being exposed to extreme radiation of 3 rads per hour, but inside the habitat, it's a tenth of that? No, little 20, not quite a tenth. 0.61, so about 20, is that? Oh my god, my math. 10, 20%, about 20%, yeah. 0.61 rads per hour. The environment is... So I think they're doing okay. We can look at their radiation. Yeah, their radiation's creeping up. It's up into the teens of what's a lethal dose of radiation. So probably what I should be doing at some point in the near future is thinking of rotating these folks out of here and getting some more down. But you know what I'm going to do instead? I think what I'm going to do... I think these folks are fine. I think what I'm going to do instead is, for our next step, is taking a look at building a Minmus rover and seeing if we can not get it there. So no more Kerbals for now. Well, we'll get those folks back in 4 hours. We'll get we got to get our tourists back down. Oh, this is very dark. Go in the vehicle assembly. I know that's a scatterer thing, and I know there's something to do with scatterer in the settings to fix that, where it just goes black at night. All right, but right now let's take a look here. So let's take a look at our contracts. So whoops, I had that window open there for a second. Close that. That is being taken care of. Let's see here. There was a... I know there's 2, there it is, a robotic rover on Minmus. So I'm going to add that to create a new mission here. I got to get rid of some of these old ones. This is going to be a Minmus rover. We'll give it a proper name maybe later. So we'll add that to the Minmus rover mission, and then there's scout for a suitable location, which involves a rover. We're going to add that too. So we got 2 contracts. And if I push the right buttons, we can take a look at them. There we go. So these are our 2 contracts. Always got to take a look at the sides, the print here. So build a robotic rover. It's got to be uncrewed. You got to land at site Alpha or travel. So there's 3 sites here, Alpha, Beta, Charlie. I'm assuming they're close together to each other. We got to land and just travel between them, and that's it. And then transmit some science from the surface of Minmus. So we'll just make sure it has some science to transmit. And then we have this scout Minmus for a suitable location to build a base. Find a suitable site to build our base. I do want to make a Minmus base. That's almost saying the same thing on Minmus. And once you find a site for your Minmus base, change the vessel type to rover. Once you find the site for your Minmus base, I don't know, type. I think I'm just going to try this with the rover anyway. We'll see how this goes. I think I just got to land anywhere on Minmus, drive around for a couple of minutes, and it'll say, you found a nice site. That's what I'm thinking. So let's think about a rover, and I'm going to keep it really simple. We have the good old Probodyne, what do you call this? The Probodyne Rove Mate, and we have some small rover wheels. I'm sure I have them. Are these the smallest ones? I believe they are. They actually have two different kinds. We have these kinds, which just face forward, but I think I'm going to use these kinds here. Like that. And you know what? I'm going to build this. No, we'll build it in here. We'll just put it on the mirror symmetry. There we go. Another there. Just to get us roughly started there. And science. So Minmus science. I can do, yeah, there's still some stuff to do. Let's configure the science that's in here. So we have temperature and telemetry. I think that's probably configure these ones. So I only got 2 slots. I got telemetry, temperature, a Geiger counter, seismic accelerometer, and the light experiment. I think that, no, that's an uncrewed one too. Can I do, I wrote down what experiments I can and can't do. I think the light's all done. I think I've done that. Might experiment, no, that's right. These all have to be in orbit. That's right. It's coming back to me. See, here's the situation. You have to be in space for these. So what I think I shall do is keep this on telemetry, because I know these are landed in various biomes. So I'll just try and land in a different biome than I was before. And we'll also put on the seismic accelerometer. And for now, I'm just going to slap these on. Put that on waiting. Actually, I should put the other 2 on waiting as well. That way they start as soon as you... And... GravMax Gravioli detector, probably. Just stick this on here for now. What's the GravMax say? Yep, surface biomes. Geiger counter is surface biome, so we'll stick that on somewhere. Oh my gosh. There. Waiting, I got that. There's no atmosphere. Thermometers built into the probe core. We won't take any samples or anything like that. Just thinking, like, won't do goo or material. No, I've done all the goo in the materials bay. So that's it. That's all the science it's going to have. We need to transmit that, but that actually should only be a communitron. And again, I'm not going to just put on a pair of those. Because I got relay satellites in orbit about Minmus, so a pair of communitrons should be fine for communication. And we're going to put... What do these do? Okay, when they're I'll just make sure they... Yeah. Actually, let's simulate the transmission, yes, in the planner. Okay, so down here we have a little planner that says everything we got so far is going to consume 2.08 units of electric charge per second. That isn't too much. Let's get into electricity. Move that out of the way. Only one of these panels is 0.16, so one panel will do it just fine. So 2 of these is going to be fine. And this is not going to be the final configuration. I'm just sticking these on for now. So we got electricity easily covered. I'm thinking, instead of doing that, why not just stick these on the side? Or on the back or something. And just cover the top with solar panels. What do we got for solar panels? This is 2.8. Even if the sun's coming down on an angle, that by itself is huge. Right there. That'll cover it easy. Might use a bunch of oxats instead, but what is this one? 0.3. I only need, yeah, even that's overkill. Let's, again, 2-way symmetry. You know what we're going to do take that off. There we go. This is the simplest solution. And I bet you 6 of these is still lighter than that's 5 kilograms each times 6 is 0.3. 30 kilograms. This one by itself is 40 kilograms. So that's lighter than the one big one. And we'll do just fine. Okay. How am I fixed for electric? There's 500 units of electric charge on this thing. How long will it last in the dark? In the dark, this will last for 40 minutes. I'm not counting the actual driving around. That's actually a good question in itself. You think a much larger antenna, John? John's thinking a much larger antenna. Maybe. It's been so long. I might get back to that. But what about the wheels? What do the wheels do again? Wheels are 1 unit of electric charge each. I'd like to be able to cover that too. Yeah. And there's 4 of them, so that's 4 units of electric charge. Are you just thinking about the transmission speed? Transmission speed? John, are you thinking about transmission speed for the size of the antenna? This has a transmission speed, where is it here, of 2.2 kilobytes per second. I'm remembering how this all works. This has a much faster speed just for transmitting the stuff back home. May not be a bad idea. That's a relay antenna, right? Doesn't it say that somewhere? Relay, yeah. What's the next up direct antenna? There's this one. That is 65 kilobytes per second, and then this one's at 25 kilobytes per second. So this might be a better choice for antenna. Just one of them, though, for sure. Yeah, maybe we'll do that. Looks better, too. I think I need better solar generation, though, and I'm thinking about the wheels. Once it's parked, it's not a big deal. But, and this is just, oh my gosh. Temporarily put those there. All right, let's make this into something that's actually workable. There are 500 units of electric charge aboard. The data rate for the Gravioli is high. Yes, now it's coming back to me. So the Gravioli detector, the rate at which it transmits data, all this stuff you got to think about, is 13.28 kilobytes per second. So if we get into an antenna here, it would be nice to have an antenna. This one does 25, so it can handle that. Or else these things generate science faster than you can transmit it away. So I think this is probably all a much better plan here. Now, again, how long will this last in the dark? 36 minutes it'll last in the dark. Oh my gosh, how long's a Minmus day? I can't even remember. Let's say it's 6 hours. Or a Minmus night. How much batteries do I got to put on this thing to get up to... This is, again, temporary, just to get an idea. I would love it to survive for a few hours, because once it's at nighttime, that Gravioli detector takes days to... Oh boy. That's a lot. Okay, this thing's going to get bigger than I think, just on batteries alone. Radioisotope thermal electric generator, says Watt. Yeah, that'd be nice if I have it unlocked, but I don't. RTG is the great, yeah, oh my gosh. So what are we up to in terms of electric charge? This thing's going to have issues making it... Well, actually, hang on a second. Hang on a second before I get too carried away. It might not be as bad as I think. If I take a look at The seismic accelerometer takes 14 days to collect all of its data. The Gravioli takes 90 days. But the Geiger counter is very fast. So let's turn off the Geiger counter. Let's turn off the thermometer and this. Now how long? Now it's lasting for a day. Oh my God, but that's about what I'm going to need, isn't it? 1 day, 5 hours. That's a whole, Dan says 1 day, 5 hours, 13 minutes, and 20 seconds. I think that's the entire orbital, like that's the whole day for Minmus. So the night is half of that. So I think about a day worth of batteries would be good, but that is a day's worth of batteries. 3,900. Okay. We can do this though, because I got better choices for batteries. So let's get this out of here. We're gonna build a little tower of these. These can go away. These are 1,000 each. Now it's lasting for over a day. Oh, but the antenna. Oh, but the antenna doesn't have to transmit during the day. There you go. Yes, the antenna doesn't need to be factored in as long as I make sure that it's got places to store everything. All right, we're getting there. Oh my God, this is all so complicated. We're going to build a little tower for this. That's what we're going to do. That is what we're going to do. Okay. What do I got for structural bits? Let's arrange these by mass. That's the big one. Why is this such a heavy thing? It's not that big. Oh my gosh. Fine. What's this? Oh, grip pads. I don't care. Okay, we'll just do this. Use a little of these cubic octagonal struts. I'm going to put an antenna over here. Don't be that way. Okay, we'll slide that down a little bit. This is, by the way, a Minmus Rover. And now we can take these antennas and stick them up here. Well, yeah, it's a little more out of the way. There we go. We'll take this science equipment too. We'll just radially stick it on the side here. Can't even see that. There you are. Okay, and we'll put these so they're waiting again because we do want them to turn on when they're supposed to. All right. Waiting. This is a little bit, might be a little top heavy. It might be interesting. Might have to be careful with my driving. So one thing I'm a little worried about. I roll this way, yeah. Just try and give it a little bit more of a longer foot pad there. What is our mass up to, by the way? It's only 600 kilograms, so I shouldn't be able to have too much trouble getting it there. All right, and then what we'll do... I'm honestly thinking this is... oh, wait. I built a checklist. Look at that. I'd forgotten I'd done this. Okay. Oh, but it's... Oh, okay, it's not my own customized one. Okay, I got to copy over... Okay, I'm just going to ignore that. We'll just hopefully do the best we can. All right, what I want to do is build something to get this to the surface. That's going to be the idea. So up at the top here, add some RCS to it. That's not a bad idea. Because this thing on Minmus doesn't require a whole lot. You know, maybe building something just out of monopropellant is not entirely a bad idea. A little bit of monopropellant, put some, and then I can put some RCS, but that's also good for trying to keep it upright. But also, maybe I can land it just with monopropellant. That's what I'm kind of thinking about. So let's switch this to Minmus. And let's put on some monopropellant cans. I could have built a little tower out of monopropellant cans rather than... What do we got for mono? Go by resource. Monopropellant, and arrange those by mass. Well, clearly I have some monopropellant tanks. This is nothing but... Okay, let's go to our tanks. Oh my gosh. Well, I do have a tank configurator, so I can actually put in and switch the... You know what I think I'm going to do? Let's lift this up. I'm just going to play around with how much monopropellant to actually... So I'm going to... We can edit the tanks. I have a tank configurator. We can take these tanks out. We can put in liquid... Oh, that's not soil. Liquid chemicals. And we can switch, add that in, and then you can switch it not from liquid fuel, but to monopropellant. And then what I can do is put on... I mean, I have monopropellant engines, but I honestly just don't think it's going to need them. Where are the little... These guys. Yeah. Yeah, these are the... What if I just put like a... This is just experimenting. That provides 4 kilonewtons of thrust. I think each of those is a kilonewton of thrust. Should be easier to see that kind of stuff. Oh, it's only 2.2 kilonewtons of thrust. But I do have RCS Build Aid. So what I can do is I put this on the right. Right, left, up. There we go. We have a total of 8 kilonewtons of thrust, so I'm not sure what I was reading up there. I have 0 meters per second of delta V. Why is that? It's not seeing the... Oh, there's no monopropellant aboard. There we go. 302 meters per second of delta V and 8 kilonewtons of thrust on a vessel that only weighs just under 700 kilograms. Landing on Minmus. I think this should be fine. Honestly. I only need about 225 meters per second to land this on Minmus. I'm honestly thinking... Jeepers creepers. I'll put this to a test. We'll run a simulation. Grab that. Take these away. So I was going to build something a little more elaborate, but I'm honestly thinking... Let's close. I got a lot of extra windows here. Close that. RCS Build Aid, go away. There we go. I'm thinking this thing can land on Minmus. Am I crazy? I might be. Add a detachable monoprop can for landing. I was thinking of that. I mean, I could. It's just it doesn't. When I'm adding this little mass, I don't know why I need to detach it. Just keep it on there. That's kind of what I'm thinking about. Well, that's just the knobs on the... You know what I'm going to do? Let's save this. I'm going to open up our crash simulator. Where is that? That's this button. We're going to select an orbit in around Minmus. 10 kilometers in altitude. That seems pretty good. Yep. And we'll see how it goes. We'll simulate this. It has more than enough thrust. I agree, Watt. I was going to get out my calculator and start, working all that kind of stuff because Minmus is so light, but I honestly think it has more than enough thrust. And I like it. It's under 700 kilograms, so getting it to Minmus should be a breeze. There we are. Here's the whole thing. Oh, do I have no signal? I do. Somehow I have a signal. It's picking up a relay, which is good, because if I didn't do that, it wouldn't have had enough signal to... All right. Oh, what I should do is take these engines... Show the actuation toggle. I don't care about yaw, pitch, roll, port starboard, dorsal ventral. I only care about fore and aft. And then you can put on 4x throttle. See that? And now those engines will behave in the same way as a regular engine. So again, all of this stuff for maneuvering, just take it off. Put on fore and aft and forward, attach it to the throttle. I just got to do that with each of them, unfortunately. I should have done that in the VAB, and I need to remember to do that when I'm in the VAB. There, and forward by throttle, and same thing here. I hit the probe body instead. All of the maneuvering stuff turn off. Forward and aft I want, and forward on the throttle. Okay, so I got to put a better probe body on this thing. I can see that. I have no reaction wheels. There you go. All right, so that's why we test. So let's terminate the simulation. I have no reaction wheel, so I have no orbital control. So reaction wheels are a good idea. Yeah, and then play with the control body. So let's look at our probe bodies. What do I got for probe bodies? Let's arrange our probe bodies by cost, knowing that the more expensive ones will be. So this is my best one is the Octo 2. That is my, oh, that's not that's smaller than I thought it would be. Now the Octo 2 has no reaction wheels, I bet. Get that checklist out of there. No, I'm sure it doesn't. So a pair of reaction wheels would be a good idea. So I'm going to move that, put that there. That can go on there. And some small reaction wheels. Small inline react. This thing's getting taller by the moment. That's okay. I lost where I put my reaction wheels. Small inline reaction wheels. Again, we'll clean this up in just a little bit. But this is, again, just a proof of concept type of thing. I should be able to... I think this is oriented the same way. Let's test it again. So simulator, again, orbit, Minmus, 10 kilometers, go. Oh, let's, before I run the same risk as I did before, extend that antenna. Oh, and let's, again, do this thing with the actuation toggles, and then I don't have to keep doing it over and over again. There. This one. Bop, 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 bop. And these ones should now be done. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Save that. Simulate. There we go. You now have 2 probe bodies. That's true, I do, because the Rove Max is a probe body. I didn't really need to do that, did I? It doesn't need the probe body, it just needed the reaction wheels. being pointed out in the chat, I now have 2 probe bodies. Didn't need probe body. Needed reaction wheels. That's okay. As long as it behaves the way I want it to behave, it's okay. Oh, and that is blackness. Did I not ask this to go to Minmus? Terminate the simulation. I got to get into those scatterer settings too, because I obviously don't want it to be black when I'm down on the surface like that. And same with, I got to get into that. Okay, so I don't need this probe body. That was unnecessary. Okay. Save again. Simulate. Orbit selection. Minmus. Start. Use, Joey's saying I use Planet Shine. I know I've had this issue with Scatterer before, with it being just pitch black at night. And I know there's just something in the settings that you adjust and it goes away. I just got to figure out what that setting is. I was just actually, it was only this morning that I was updating this and installing mods and all that kind of stuff. So this is still might be a little rough. Still might be a little rough. Okay, here we go. Okay, so now, yep. Okay, so low. Okay, so I can see this is not pointing retrograde the way I want, but I should be able to control point forward, control point up. Now, that's right. Excellent. Okay, there we go. So that is good. We will extend these solar panels. And all I want to see is, does this stupid thing land, really? Like, that's all I care about. Let's make sure we do land in the day side. There we go. Okay, put this on retrograde. And I should be able to, I think I have to put on RCS, but then if I use the throttle, see, throttle does do, oh, that looks so nice. Look at those exhausts. Whoops, whoops, whoops. I think I'm already deorbiting. Should have been paying attention. But just, I don't know if you saw the exhaust plumes coming out of there. They look great. I think I got a lot of thrust. I don't think thrust is going to be an issue. Still considering putting on another probe body, only to have so I can lock to retrograde and all of that kind of stuff. The one thing you don't have, here I can go here so I can at least see how much monopropellant, but it doesn't tell you how much delta V you have. Even Kerbalism, or not, Kerbal Engineers even not so sure. But what we want to do is just put this onto the retrograde vector, turn this way. I always find it easier with that thing up and then just gun it. So we're just gonna, I think I might be even toggling down the thrust. Look at those exhaust plumes. That looks so good. Oh my gosh, that looks so nice. So I'm just gonna kill, I'm just gonna drop down. Nothing fancy. I think I got so much. Oh, maybe I don't know. Maybe I do need more monopropellant now that I'm looking at it. I can see it using up a lot just killing all this, but maybe that's what most of it's gonna be. I don't know. Okay, there we go. Let's just fall. Falling close to straight down. Still 2.5 kilometers above this. This is not an efficient landing, but that's okay. If I can land, it won't let me time warp. You're a stinker. We're just falling slowly to the surface. Honestly, there's nothing wrong with just being simple. All right. Oh, James Webb Telescope. I'm just seeing it in the chat that it's beginning its L2 insertion burn. Really, really. That's going to be spectacular. when that's all ready to go. Okay, let's push this up to the top again and lose some of this velocity. Okay, lose a lot of velocity. Come on, more velocity then. So we'll probably just fall from here. Well, I'm still burning a little bit. Okay, put on the cap lock and just knock off the rest of this. Whoops. And boink. Oh, we're rolling. Brakes on. Should have put the brakes on before I started, but there you go. We're down. Maybe put on a tad more monopropellant. Might make me feel a little better. I don't think there was much left when I got down to the bottom there. Okay, turn the RCS off. Turn the brakes off. And yeah, whoa, that's what I'm talking about. Oh, yeah, turn off. Toggle the torque here. I got to turn this to be in drive mode. That's what I need to do. It's all coming back to me slowly. Where's the... Put the brakes back on again. Direction, direction, direction. I'm on the probe body, right? What am I missing here? Click on that. That's the sciencey stuff. Where is the thing? I clicked it before I came down here on control point up. Oh my god, I'm just blind. Control point forward. There we go. Now let's see how this works. Take the brakes off. Oh, that way's forward. There you go. See? I'll have to be careful, I think. Now, I actually have the reaction wheels off, which, to be honest, I think typically works better if I put the reaction wheels on. There we go, on normal mode. Quite often you push forward and, oh no, it's working fine. Sometimes you push forward and it wants to tilt forward. No, it's doing well. This is good. There we go. We got ourselves a Rover. Whoa, whoa, there it goes. See? Gotta be a little careful. I can make this work. All right, brakes. Brakes. I'm going to put on another one of these monopropellant cans. Maybe a smaller one. Okay, terminate the simulation. This is working. All right. Boy, I was having trouble finding that control point button. I was just blind to it. Okay, so let's, oh my gosh, get rid of that. Okay, I want to put on a smidge more monopropellant. So I'm going to take that off, that on. I don't think it needs a lot more, so I'm thinking, I got these little guys, which are half of these ones. I love these little tanks. They're so cute. And take these out. Liquid chemicals. Add that on and switch this to monopropellant. Close that. Fill these up. So this was 20.4 units of monopropellant, and I now have an additional 10.2. So I've increased the amount of monopropellant by 50%. I would think that should be good. Again, all it's got to do is land. And then it never, ever has to use the monopropellant stuff again. Now we'll just spend a little bit of time dressing this up. Oh, shoot. I just realized this is in the wrong. Making it look nice. Like that. that. Okay. Can retract this. Let's get rid of our there. Okay. I am happy. I think this is going to work. I think this is going to work just fine. So what we need to do now is put this thing onto a booster and get it there. So we need a little bit of a vessel just to do the Minmus get there. The Minmus get there. So that's 930 to get the Minmus. I'm just looking at a Delta V map. 150 for the capture, so that's 1080. I'll give myself a bit of wiggle room. 1200 meters per second, and I'm in Minmus orbit. So let's put ourselves a little bit of a pusher on here. So a decoupler, certainly not a separator. Decoupler certainly is not going to need much. Maybe another structural doobob there just to clear these little thruster ports that are there. And obviously some sort of fairing, which is going to have to actually be of reasonable size. Right? Yeah, like that's too small. 2.5 meter fairing. Need a little bit more. Another one of these. Just so the wheels have somewhere to go. Now this should go straight up. Right? No, it has to come out a little bit. If I didn't tilt the wing or the wheels back, it would actually be better, but I kind of like the wheels the way they are. So cover this up. I don't know why I'm covering this up, because I'm just going to have to take this away again, but I just want to see that it does cover up. Put on clamshell, put on 6 sides, and up the force a little bit. Sure thing. Okay, let's delete the fairing. We'll have to rebuild that. Now it needs a pusher vehicle and only about 1200 meters per second. That is not a lot. Fortunately, it's 2.5 meters across, so that's not small. So, don't I have, shoot. Like, even this is, I know, is going to be too much. So what I shall do... Let's put on just some structural doobie-dobs here. I know what I'll do. Let's lose that. We'll build stuff in here. So, there. Get that Octo 2 core again. That's what I'm looking for. Put on some batteries. Actually, put on a structural piece. I got a plan. I got a plan to expand out a little bit. Just get one of those bigger batteries, like that. I just want to build something that's not going to be redonkulously huge, and then I'll just put it on a big booster. It's kind of the idea, like that, and then like what about a terrier on the bottom? And then I'll just do the fairing around the whole thing. So already that's... Oh my gosh. I got this set for... Oh, that's Kerbin? Oh, thrust to weight's 0.57. Okay, that's a vacuum. There we go. That's already too... I don't need that much. Okay, smaller tank. That one. That's a little too much. A lot of thrust to weight. Yeah, so I don't need as big an engine as that. Let's get a smaller engine on there. Good old spark engine. What's a spark engine do for me? Still thrust to weight of 1.2, which is more than adequate. A little low on the Delta V, but if I can find a 1.25 type of fuelie adapter that's got no fuel in it, something with fuel in it. I got nothing like that, do I? No. That's going bigger, not smaller. Shoot. Shoot, shoot, shoot. Okay, well, we can Just maybe go down to back to structure. One of these. Little Oscar B. I don't think it needs much more fuel. There's 1395. Thrust away to 1.05. That's fine. That'll do it. And then, yeah, sure. And now we'll just build the whole fairing around that. Why not? And then we'll stick a big booster under it. That one. Probably some reaction wheels in here would be a good idea now that I'm looking at this, because the only reaction wheels are up at the top. Just put some reaction wheels right here. Again, some small ones would be fine. I'm just thinking too, this thing can do part of the descent as well. So this really isn't going to be an issue. Be a little wider. There we go. There we go. There we go. There we go. Maybe strut. Some strutty struts in here. Whatever reason, it's not letting me go to multiple struts. There we go. Strutty struts like that. Put the Oscar B above the bigger tank. Yeah, that'll look better. You're right. I like that idea. Somebody suggested that. That's good. If I take, oh my gosh, I can't even see. Take the airstream off. Oh, I never put a decoupler there. That would have gone bad. But put this. You can even take off that. Can go there now. That makes the whole thing a little bit shorter. I don't know why, but I don't have a decoupler. I thought I grabbed the decoupler, but maybe I just missed it. There we go. And then that can go there. That looks much better. And the fairing still covering it fine? Sure. Oh, there's my decoupler that I lost somehow. Okay, that's still clamshell and force is good. What could go wrong? I'm just realizing too, I don't have any kind of lights on this thing. You gotta have lights, right? Not going to go too crazy, but what if I just put on just like this? Oh, take the R off. Just keep them white. Don't even blink them. There we go. Just for something. To make them look like. Okay, this thing, what's our mass here? Our mass is 2.8 tons. What is my booster situation for 2.8 tons? To lift 2.8 tons into orbit. I'd like to go a little bigger. Unfortunately, I suspect any booster that's capable of doing that isn't going to be as, 2.5 meters wide at the bottom. This might be a goofy thing, but I can deal with goofy. Oh, there's a decoupler on the bottom of this. Oh, I know why that's there. Yeah. What I'm thinking is just something to provide some sort of transition. I don't think I even need all of this. So it doesn't look outrageously stupid. Hopefully the swivel can still lift all this. That vacuum. This clearly needs to be on its own stage. The staging is a disaster. Oops. Okay. There we go. Just gonna, oh, it doesn't count the monopropellant. Oh, wait, I want to turn off this engine. That's the one I don't want to count. Let's turn that off. Okay. 3460 TWR at sea level of 1.26, but the thrust limiter is turned down, so it's very, very close to being able to reach some sort of orbit if I just added in some of this fuel that I took out here. 3609. We'll adjust the thrust here a little bit so that the liftoff thrust is a little better. 76. There we go. Launch thrust of thrust to weight of 1.33. Let's check all of our staging here. That makes sense. What's the thrust to weight at this top end? Oh, that's fine. Is that at the, yeah, that's gonna be fine, I think. A little low maybe, but we'll see what happens. I want to take this fairing out of the staging completely. Get away. And then we stage that and that engine, and then we let go of our rover up at the top. Yep. Okay, let's turn this engine back on. I don't even think it looks stupid. I think it's all right. Oh my gosh, I wasn't looking at Kerbal Engineer. I'm so used to... I'm still too used to stock. Okay, there should be a probe core hidden in here somewhere. Nope. Those are reaction wheels. Okay. So let's get a KOS, my KOS controllable scripty doob. That's the one I'm looking for. So that we'll have our launch script. Put that on our boot file, up the disk space, and close that, not have to worry about that again. Okay, let's do a test launch. Do I try and keep, I'm being asked in the chat, do I try and keep clean skies? I actually kind of do. And kind of, I kind of do and kind of don't. I could put a probe core on this thing and do a, maybe that's not a bad idea. If I just put in, oh, there's no, if I just put in here, in the interest of keeping clean skies, if I put in a probe core on this and then put in just a couple of batteries, like so, then this thing's capable of deorbiting itself. There we go. That's in the interest of clean skies. Now, the question is that yeah, let's put in a little bit more fuel. Like that. Good. And atmospheric thrust weight, again, I gotta up this. I'm a little concerned with that upper stage thrust to weight ratio, to be honest. It might be a little weak. Well, actually, this is a swivel engine. Some of these boosters are so old. Why not put in the more powerful Reliant engine? I don't see why. That certainly should work. And of course, that loses a lot of delta V. That's why. Okay, let's go back to what I had. Oh my gosh, too many engines swivel. Okay, well, how did I lose? Oh, wait, this is now in a nonsensible. Okay, sorry, let's put the Reliant back. I lost delta V because the staging was messed up. Okay. So we're not firing the Reliant till up here. There's the two SRBs. Okay, what's that look like? That looks better, and a nicer thrust to weight at the top. And I can turn this down a little bit. That makes way more sense. Okay. Let's do a test launch. Test launch time. So, you know what I'm going to do? Save this. We're just going to exit. I'm just going to time warp to daylight because I know that it's all black outside. And then I'll spend some time before next week to sort that stuff all out. So we'll time warp today. See, this isn't right. But that's a mod doing... Oh, look at that beautiful sky. But there we go. Now everything looks gorgeous again. But I just gotta... I just gotta get in the settings and fix that up. And the James Webb Telescope is now in L2 orbit. Nice. I love the fact, speaking of L2 and L1, both of those two locations, those Lagrange points, I love the fact that you can orbit nothing. That they just sit there orbiting, you know, nothing at all. I think that's just very cool. Anyway, so yeah, no, we're going to do a simulation, silly. That's what we're going to do. We're going to simulate this. The Reliant cannot gimbal, but the Swivel can. That is true, James, but I do have a pair of small reaction wheels in the middle of that booster. I really don't think I need the gimbling. And because of Restock, I have gimbling on the SRBs, which is super nice. I wish the stock game had gimbling on their SRBs. This is such an old booster, but it's nice. So we're going to run our launch program. We're going to go into a 6-degree inclined orbit because that's what I would be doing if I wasn't going to, when I would go to Minmus normally. There we go. And hopefully this will all work well because it has been 4 months since I last ran this launch script. And we are off going, we have lost control. Why did this lose control? We have aborted and we're going to crash. We can't, unfortunately, we'll watch the crash, but I have no idea what just happened there. Okay. What just happened? It seemed like... Let's terminate the simulation. It seemed like SAS was off, but the script should have turned on No, the SAS should be off because the script takes control. But I'm very curious what happened there. Maybe I should try it without the script. Or there almost seemed like there was something asymmetrical. Oh, I gotta deal with not having that there all the time. Okay, let's look at this. Is there... there is a torque at liftoff of 0.84 kilonewton meters, but that shouldn't do that. Okay, we'll try that again. Try that again. And this time I'm just going to not use the... Looks like the Navball was pointing east. I'm seeing in the chat. And the two Johns in the chat agree that looked like the Navball was pointing east. That makes a lot of sense because the first part, the root part of this is that probe body. And of course, yeah, so that would completely mess up a launch script as it happily flies it towards the horizon. Yeah, look at the Navball. So there's the issue. There's the issue right there. So this is the way the Navball is. So the script is going to be completely confused. So what we'll do is we'll open this up. We will control from here. Haha, that's the way Navball should look at launch. Okay, at least that makes some sense as to why that happened. Let's try that again. Run the launch script. 6 degrees, 80 kilometer orbit, and go. Let's see how that works. That's looking a little better. So the launch script has an auto abort feature where if it detects that it is off course by more than, I can't remember what the threshold was, by 5 or 10 degrees or something like that, it will attempt to shut down the engines. Of course, at launch, it is 90 degrees off course based on the way the Navball was oriented. So I'm thinking that probably was the issue. And so it aborted right away, but of course by then the SRBs are already lit, and it is in trouble. Okay, I am realizing a couple of things, but this is okay. This is why we're doing simulations. I don't think these... Oh, no, there's a smart part here, so we should... The smart part. Smart part's a great little mod. Oh, yep, smart part just took care of the staging for me. Oh, look at that! Look at that! Oh my gosh! Oh my gosh, I'm getting so excited. Look at that! Oh, waterfall, where have you been all my life? That is... Oh! I'm gonna... You could spend the whole watch just... Or the whole launch just watching this. Oh, that's just wonderful. Oh, and it's changing too. It's changing as the pressure... Oh! And if you listen, the sound is getting quieter as well. Oh, oh my gosh, oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, that's amazing. Okay, just gonna reset the camera here. There we go. That looks great. That looks great. I've never been really happy. I mean, I went with Restock, which does a decent job with the engine plumes. Better than stock, but that, I mean, that's what it should look like. That's just wonderful. Now, one thing is I took this out of the staging, the fairing here, and then usually I put that into an action group, and then the script looks for the fairing in the action group, but it's not there. So, how are we doing here, by the way? It's doing pretty good, I think. I think we're doing pretty good. It's reducing thrust. That's what the script does. Oh, I'm just so excited about the engine bloom. These fins are really big. I don't think I need them that big, but that's okay. Yeah, it's the waterfall mod that's doing this. That's putting on those really sweet engine plumes. Okay, how are we doing here? Our apoapsis is about 65 kilometers. I gotta stop looking up here. I have Kerbal Engineer. I can look up there. I keep looking down here because I've been used to playing with stock recently, but I got it up here. Nice. Okay, so that's that. Oh, we can lose the fairing. Deploy that fairing. I could have lost it earlier, to be honest. Okay, let's time warp up to the top. And once we are at 70 kilometers in space, the script should create a node. There it goes. We've got a burn coming up in a couple of minutes. It's getting itself all set for that. And it is a 156.3 meter per second burn, so it can do that without any issues. I'll just let it finish it off, but clearly this is all going to be fine. And then we got way more fuel than I'm ever going to need. So that's good. That's good. That's good. We'll let it finish though. Mostly so we can just watch these engine plumes again. That is so sweet. All right, so getting to Minmus certainly isn't going to be an issue. We should be in a 6-degree incline, 6.1 degrees. That's all right. And there we go. That's that. Okay, cool. So we're going to terminate the simulation. That wasn't for real. Simulations, by the way, cost me money. That cost me 4,273 Kerb bucks. I actually have, I don't know, 3-4 million Kerb bucks right now, so I don't think that's too much of an issue. And for people that have never seen KOS that did that, that is a programming language that works within KSP. So what I think I shall do, what time do we got on the stream? I think what I'll do is I'll save this. Actually, I just got to get into, everything worked fine, into the action groups. I just got to put that deployment on action group 5 because that's what the script will be looking for. I'm going to save this. We'll launch this next week and we'll take it out to Minmus. But what I want to do, what I really want to do is get out and bring my tourists back home. We started with bringing those tourists up there, and we'll finish with bringing the tourists back down to the surface. Not quite sure how much time they got left. Where's our alarm clock here? That's the wrong alarm clock. Oh my gosh, I got 2 alarm clock buttons. We can warp. Yeah, let's time warp. It's another couple of hours because we did that. So we'll time warp a couple of hours, and that should be that contract ready to go. Okay, and we'll delete that maneuver and we'll jump out to the ship. And we're going to bring our tourists back home. Yeah, that was a stock. I'm reading over the chat now, and while the load screen's coming up, and talking about the engine. That was a stock engine. That was the Reliant stock engine. It's been retextured by Restock and replumed by Waterfall. So it doesn't look like the stock engine, but it is exactly the Reliant stock engine. Okay, so here we are. Let's take a look at our contract. We should... Come on. There it is. Come back. That's it. Where's our contract? Okay, I believe they've been up for the requisite amount of time. I think I just got to recover them. So we just got to bring them back home. Okay, and I never took them out, so all we should be able to just undock and leave. Okay, get on the vessel here. RCS yeah, there we go. There we are. And we will close that. Our engines are still on, so that's cool, and we are oriented the right way. Yeah, everything's good. SAS on. We can return on this solar panel, or redeploy it. Okay. Let's think about getting ourselves back home. So... I want the trajectories mod. So we're going to show our trajectory. We're going to target the KSC. Our descent profile. It's coming back to me. We are coming in prograde. We'll hit the atmosphere probably. I'm just going to type it in. At 45 degrees. We'll probably stay at about, I don't know, maybe 30 degrees in the upper part of the atmosphere. And then, I don't know, 10 and 10. For our final approach for our angle of attack. So, and I'll show you for those that have never seen the trajectories mod how it works. But right now we got to get ourselves ready. We will get rid of the station so we just see us. Got to get ourselves to get to the KSC. So there's our target. Little green cross on there. And honestly, might be in a good spot to begin this descent. Where are we here? There's a peninsula that I usually start at, but I think I'm a little bit past it, but I think I don't want to wait. So I'm just going to put it on on retrograde. We're going to take a look, make sure I'm not driving straight into the station. So that would certainly not be good. No, we're flying away from the station. Oh, what on earth happened here? Oh boy. Okay. All right, I'm going to quick save. But we got some kind of wackiness with parts rotating and stuff. Oh my gosh, what's the rest of the station like? Did the rest of the station do? No, the rest of the station, everything looks fine. Right? No, no, no. See that? Parts rotating. I'm not sure what causes that to happen. I've had the issue before and then resolved it, and I can't remember what I did to resolve it. Oh, that's not pretty. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're not going for the KSC. We're going to go for the water. I am doing a quick save because this could go really south really quick, especially considering that 4 of these people are tourists and they cannot do an EVA. And if, oh my gosh, look at this. Oh, this is brutal. Okay. So if they just blow up on re-entry, I'm just going to revert back and not count it, and we'll figure something out. But right now, I'm going to bring our periapsis down into the atmosphere. Space termites. Yeah, we got space termites. I've had that happen before. And with that station, that exact station, where just, for some strange reason, starts rotating parts. And I don't know what it is. I thought it was persistent rotation that was responsible. But I don't have persistent rotation installed, so I don't think it can be. Okay, so I'm not going for the KSC. Let's take that off target. Clear the target. So that means we don't. Yeah, we'll keep trajectories going for now. But because I don't want to land, I don't want to even attempt to land this on the runway. But what we're going to do... Where's the sun? What we're going to do is... that way. There we go. What we're going to do is just try and see if we can nurse this down into a splashdown in the water safely. That's going to be just... That's the whole plan. That's the whole plan. Because look at this thing! It is whacked. Okay. Lock you onto prograde. Put that on surface. Put this on free. Attack that solar panel. And then I'll try and figure out what on earth just happened there. Here, we can turn trajectories off that way. Okay, we'll get ready to enter into the atmosphere. This, I guess I shouldn't have to qualify this. This may go bad. And just getting looks at this. And if it goes bad, it goes bad. You know, but it will at least be entertaining. But if it goes bad, we'll get ourselves, we'll just quick save it back into orbit again. And I'll try and see if I can, but you know, might be able to get these folks down to the surface. Remember, Bill and Jeb can parachute, but our tourists, our 4 tourists, cannot parachute. They are incapable of EVA. So if this loses all control and just plummets to the ground, well, Jeb and Bill can run, but the tourists are going to go down with the ship. Yeah, more struts. I have never seen anything like that before. Not as extreme as that. That is whacked. I'm going to definitely have to do some figuring out as to why that did that. Oh, it's already pulling. Oh my gosh. Let's turn time warp off. It's already pulling. The drag is going to be asymmetric, you think? So it's already kind of pulling one way here. Oh my gosh. You know, I should just put on... Oh no, I don't have attitude control on RCS, so that doesn't help. Okay. It just wants to... It doesn't want to go down straight. Okay. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Here we go. Again, we're not going for the runway. We're just going for the water. And if it doesn't work, we're going to revert back. There's no way I would do something dumb as this without having the option to revert back. And I have... Let's take the time warp off. I am really got very little control of this thing. Oh, I should. There we go. I've re-engaged these engines. That might help at some point, right? Are they back on again? I think it's those ones, right? Yep. And these are back on again, and these should be back on again. Yep. So I got air intakes. So, well, all of a sudden now, I'm sort of holding an attitude. Oh, I spoke too soon. Wow. This is Kraken's revenge. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Let's... Oh! I believe in the last stream I did test this during a descent and it performed fine. But this is not a fair test of its abilities, to say the least. So far, so good, though. It is slowing down. The question is, I think it's going to hold together. I don't think that's going to be the problem. Hopefully, I haven't spoken too soon on that issue. I think what's going to be the bigger problem is, can I pull up and have control as we get close to the surface? That, I think, is really going to be the bigger issue. Just trying to keep some sort of angle of attack here so that we can lose speed before we get too far down into the atmosphere. But as you can see, that's not the easiest thing in the world to do. So every once in a while I lock it back onto prograde just to sort of reorient everything. And then try and... Okay, we got, oh, yeah. Almost under 1,000 meters per second. But will this thing plummet like a stone after this point is what the real question is. I honestly think this thing will fly better without that piece on it. This one piece here that's like down really far. I think that's really causing issues. Sick bags are under the seats. Okay, let's just lock this on prograde and see if we can not bring this under some control. There we go. We got the right end up again. And we have thrust. So the engines are working, for whatever that's worth. That delta V it's showing can't be right. Maybe it is. No, that's looking at the wrong engines. There we go. That makes more sense. Oh, we are more falling now than we are flying. Come on, thrust. This is called falling. Oh my gosh. How far are we? 7 kilometers from the water. But you can see, like, I don't know, like we're falling at about 30 degrees. Certainly this is more akin to falling than it is to flying, that's for sure. Yeah. Okay. We need to keep some semblance of speed and control here. I think this thing has a ridiculous quantity of drag associated with it too, because I have some thrust being applied here, but we're still losing speed. Okay. Pull up, 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 pull up. Okay, now we're approaching being an airplane rather than, you know, a rock. Oh my god, I cannot believe how much thrust I'm applying and how little speed I'm getting out of that thrust. Okay, we're 1 kilometer above the water. Oh my gosh. Like I'm at half throttle and we're like only just over 100 meters per second while going down. That makes no sense. So this is clearly very, very messed up. All right, here we go. We're getting close. 150 meters. Got to pitch up now. Okay. Now we got to start reducing throttle. Getting down to the surface. Okay, here we go. No throttle. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Stay up, stay up, stay up. Pitch up, 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 up. Okay, we can get down. Come on. Down, 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 down. All right. Nobody died. Oh my gosh. What a stupid thing. We just like hit the water like and just stopped too. Okay. Well, I think I'm going to close it with that. I think between now and next week, we will be looking at what went wrong with this particular vehicle. But everybody here is down. They even have semblance of smiles on their faces. They got the ride of their lives. Thankfully, Jebediah was the pilot all that time. I don't think anybody else could have brought this wacky configuration of parts down to the surface. But I think I'm going to close off this stream with that. Thanks everybody for watching. We'll be back at this thing again next week. Don't forget on Thursdays at this time I do stream Subnautica. So if you want to join me for that, that would be great. But in the meantime, thanks everybody in the chat. Thanks to everybody watching at a later date. Thank you to all my patrons and YouTube members. We'll see you all later. Bye.